Good morning and welcome to Frontiers of Knowledge segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Are you aware that how much artificial light steals from the nature and the sight of the night skies? The light on your porch or the street lights in your neighborhood? It doesn't come to your mind when you talk of pollution. You talk of pollution of all sorts: noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution, land degradation. But do we ever talk of light emission and its inherent dangers? And this pollution is increasing over the years exponentially. It has far reaching implications that have grown more apparent with the passage of time. And across the globe now, there is a feeling that action should have been taken. While protecting the universe from water pollution is difficult, from air pollution is very difficult, it's not too difficult to control light pollution, and it needs an urgent attention. If you look at the history, just for a century, you would find that the widespread use of the light bulbs has ramped up in such a large measure that the whole thing has gone out of control. We are no longer exclusively burned by our planet's built-in time, bedtime. There was a time when the sun would set and a couple of hours, the twilight, and we'll say, okay, it's time to the bed. In the morning, the chirping of the birds and the fresh air would waken us up. And it was a natural cue to our body, to our circadian rhythms, and the same rhythms that influence how plants and animals go about their life. That's no longer operative. Because of the easy availability of light and shining light, we rarely go to bed before midnight, and then we don't wake up in the morning, we wake up late hours. Essentially, what we have done as human beings, we have upended the last 100 years by the rapid and ever increasing growth of artificial light. And that's the problem. Light itself is not a problem. It's the artificial light, and especially LED lights. The old lights, the soft lights, the daylight bulbs, they were better. And if we look at North America alone, that's USA and Canada, Mexico as well, the light emissions have increased by 6% annually. And that's a huge increase. They have been increasing over the decades, but now they are growing up in a hurry way. And if we look at the total light emissions, Exeter University conducted a study from 1992 to 2017, and they found that the actual increase is from 270% to 400% depending on the region. Imagine the emission pollution increasing by 400%. And light becomes pollution when it's not serving a useful purpose. Light is required, but it has to serve a purpose. And when you waste energy, you rack up hefty price bill that, apart from being expensive, also contributes to the carbon footprint. And light pollution can take few different forms. First, the clutter, an often disoriented combination of multiple excessive bright lights. Look at Times Square in New York or Las Vegas. Glare is which hurts you. Super bright streets, headlights hurt your eyes and make you squint in discomfort. This is called light trespass. It's a, trespassing is a crime, but light trespass is there. And it is when light shines where it's not supposed to. Like a street light streaming into your bedroom window. You're sleeping, your bedroom window is open, and street light is coming. At that time, your circadian rhythm would naturally undergo a lot of change. If you have ever had to buy blackout curtains to help you sleep better, you already would be aware that excess light can have negative effects on living things. People who are exposed to lot of artificial light when it's dark outside are more prone to insomnia, sleep apnea, and sleeplessness, lack of sleep, is a mother of hundreds of diseases. And this artificial light can not only be harmful to the human being, but is also harmful to the plants and animals in various ways. The birds are disoriented and they fatally collide with the buildings. They help drive insect population worldwide towards destruction. There's a massive insect population decline because of the bright light. A small town in USA, Pittsburgh, iron town, basically steel town, the city council recently approved a dark sky ordinance so that there's a eco-friendly light fixtures for streets are there. And they'll be the first city in the world to follow the guidelines that have been laid down. The problem is, although legal actions have been taken, the first city, as I said, Pittsburgh, now what they have done is that they are going to swap all the new LED light fixtures compared to the harsher LED lights. Now LED lights are very harsh and most commonly they are used. They replaced the old daylight bulbs which were soft. So now they are making new LED fixtures which emit a softer and a warmer light. In one city of Pittsburgh alone, this will include 40,000 existing light bulbs to be changed. And that is to the homes. Street bulbs and others are different. Whether the effort will successfully curb light pollution in the city is yet to be seen. But it's expected to have significant energy and long-term cost saving for the city. Now look at it. If there is no artificial light, and you look at the sky, the beautiful starlit sky is magical. And people have forgotten what the starlit sky looks like. And that is because of the artificial light. And secondly, another big thing is that the artificial light has changed a lot over the decades. Nowadays, the most efficient light bulbs in the market are the broad spectrum LEDs. They are excellent for long-term cost and energy saving, less maintenance, but they have problems. For example, the astronomers in the urban locations, when they want to look at the sky, so the telescopes cannot see them. That light from LED is becomes a blank curtain. The common outdoor sources of light used to be sodium bulbs earlier, which gave a softer amber light. And that made the smaller sections of the visible light spectrum. At that time, what the astronomers would do is, they'll use a filter to block that light, but that cannot be done with the LED lights. Now the visible spectrum goes from long wavelengths, which are your reds, to short wavelengths, which are your blues. And that's the problem with LED bulbs. The problem is that human beings have a perception, and it's a wrong perception. We believe that light makes you safer. Therefore, since light makes you safer, you should have more light. We forget that the excess of everything is bad. Now, LED also emit another thing which is harm. A higher amount of light on the shorter bluer side. And it is like the kind of light you get from your phones and your laptops. And that's why you have got to look more cool and harsh as compared to other sources of light. So they can feature a coating that filters out some light from outside. And that might be useful, but that has to be done. And yet the only way to fight light pollution is to avoid lighting up places that don't need to be lighted. Now imagine, you go to any big city, multi-story buildings, skyscrapers, all well lighted. Where's the need to do it? In the night time. Safety, employ more players, have the sensors and whatever you want to have. But why light? The birds go strike against those lighted windows and fall dead. They don't need to be illuminated. Some critics raise the safety concerns, as I said. But the excessive light offering the feeling of safety is incorrect. Secondly, for the human beings, the glare caused by the excess light, for example, irritates your eyes and impedes your ability to see clearly while driving. And that compromises your safety and the safety of other people. The problem is that we always take things for granted. The false perceptions, they are harmful. The consequences of light pollution are really horrendous, as I just explained, to the animals, to the plants, and to the human beings. They are harmful that they make you feel sleepless. They disrupt your circadian rhythm, your internal biological clock. There was a study done by Harvard in 2017, and that found that the higher exposure to light, artificial light at night, increases the risk of breast cancer. So it was seen that the women who work night shifts have higher percentage of night cancer than the women who don't work at night. There is also evidence that the burden of exposure to light pollution falls basically on the marginalized classes. There was a study conducted by University of Utah in 2020, and they found that the population of Asians, Hispanic, and black people were exposed twice as much to the artificial light than the white people. It's the same story playing again and again. The relationship with these disadvantaged, marginalized communities and the whole suite of pollutants. We forget that aesthetisms are what people are seeing. But people see aesthetisms, but they don't see the constellation, which is much more important. Another thing which I like to talk about is that the light fixtures are not friendly to environment. Nobody has thought of environment when designing light. You have got to design light with natural darkness and then adding light whenever and where you need it. Compared to other types of pollution, as I said, addressing the excessive light is very straightforward. It's not like the soil pollution or the water pollution or plastics in the ocean. It's an easy thing to fix. Shut off the lights in the night. Make them softer, more amenable, and reevaluate your cultural association with light as being the guardian of safety and positiveness. Have you seen the Milky Way recently in the skies? Maybe the younger children must have forgotten what Milky Way is. There's a lot of values at stake when it comes to losing sight of cosmos. In fact, we lose contact with nature, and that's a problem. So, this light pollution is a horrendous thing which is happening. Unfortunately, though the studies have been done, the political leaders have not taken any action except in a couple of towns, Pittsburgh starting with, and some other towns as well. But we need at international level that thing. And if you can do that, you save on healthcare, you save on energy, you save on biodiversity because the plants and the birds are not going to suffer because of the stupidity and false perceptions of the human beings. And that would make life better, worth living. So, this addition to our knowledge is extremely valuable, useful, provided we take effective steps to eliminate, as far as possible, the artificial light. As I said, have light where it's needed. As and when needed, have artificial light. Otherwise, avoid it. Avoid it like plague. Thank you.